Today is Monday, July 26, 2021, and just a little over a month ago, I finally made a decision that was going to change my life forever. Well, 2 lives, 2 families, 1 story. One. Welcome to Derapy Season 2.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other places. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, which means literally one person could be listening to your podcast, and you will get paid for it. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the Anchor app for free or go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome to Derapy.
Today we're going to do something different, but not entirely foreign. I want to talk about us. Because every other time you're here, we're always talking about a movie that we don't like, or nothing.
Okay.
Today I want to do something significant, since you're here, since you're in the mood to talk.
Why do you say it like that? Like we normally just sit in silence?
We only ever talk when we're doing the podcast.
That's just not true.
We just sit in the apartment all the time.
And just stare at each other.
And we watch TV, and we don't talk about it, we don't pause it, we just sit here. And then I'm like, are you tired? And then you nod your head yes, and then we go to bed.
Oh, God. It's simply not true. And also tragic.
Anyway, so, we have been engaged for a month and 2 weeks now. Mm. And I reference you, I talk about you on the show, but nobody actually knows how you're doing or if you're okay.
Or if I'm being held against my will.
Or if you're being held against your will.
And I'm not. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with you.
Great.
In our engagement.
Fantastic. We didn't actually talk about the day I proposed to you. How was that day for you? I'll let you take it away.
This is really embarrassing. Well, we had a date. We went to Marina's. Marina's on the Square. It's an amazing Italian restaurant. Very small, very quaint, very cute. And we've been there a couple times. I was not in a good mood that day at all. I was actually very, very nervous. I had a lot of anxiety because I was going to apply for a new job, and that was really, really stressful for me. And I was not thinking about getting married to you at all. It was not in the spectrum of where my brain was that day.
It wasn't the ideal day.
It was. So I kept telling you how nervous I was and anxious I was, and I, not even knowing how anxious you were because you had a ring in your pocket. I was just worried about myself and my career. And so we were eating and we had really good food, and I remember you were like, should we take a walk after we eat? And I was like, no, why would we do that? I'm tired. I'm anxious.
Yeah, that was tough.
And you were like, okay, yeah, sure, all right. And so then we were walking, we got to the apartment, and you're like, should we take a walk now? And I was like, why do you want to walk today? What's up with the walking?
I really wanted to walk because I had a plan, and I had a backup plan, and you didn't want to do either of them.
I crushed both plans. Well, we never walk.
Yeah.
We don't walk, we don't exercise, we don't go outside.
We literally walked today, but that was just a coincidence, I suppose.
We don't normally walk.
But, it's not a crazy idea to be because we were supposed to go to the restaurant that you love, that you introduced me to, and then the plan was we also planned to see In the Heights that evening. So there were 2 things that, I knew that you loved and I knew that you would enjoy, and I planned to propose between those 2 things because I thought it would be this perfect, magical interval of time where, I don't know, it just seemed like a good idea, and it was going to happen in the restaurant. We were sat in a very odd spot where when I looked to my left, I saw, some cleaning bottles, and we were, very close to the kitchen, and also you were,
Anxious?
Freaking out the whole dinner. Like, just like...
That is not an accurate impression of me.
So then we left there, and there was this spot in the heart of Murfreesboro, like in what people refer to as the square, like a monument, so to speak. And I was like, oh, well, there wasn't an ideal time at dinner, so I'll do it then. And I was like, let's just walk for a little bit. And you were like... I was walking dogs all day.
I was walking. Okay,
and I was like, okay,
no. Don't
it's
you
not
start.
really that
Don't
long
you start,
of a walk.
Because
but...
you should have just said, hey, I want to go show you something. Follow me. Let's go over here.
See, that would have given it away.
No, it wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. You should have been a little bit more demanding. You're too nice.
Oh,
you love me too much.
It's definitely my fault. So then when we got back to the apartment, I was like, there's still time. Like, there isn't enough time before we go to this movie, like, for us to actually watch a full episode of any show or do anything, really. So I was like, now that we're back at the apartment, there's this really nice place in our complex where you can, like, walk to. It's like a dock. And I was like, let's walk. And she was like, why do you want to walk? I just want to sit here and do nothing before that movie starts.
Actually, that didn't happen either. I just didn't want to walk. I think that's fair. And either way, you should have made me walk.
Yeah,
well, anyway,
I'm not a very forceful person.
I walk out, I go to the bathroom, I come out to kiss my cat, and I turn around, and there you are on one knee, and you're like, I just wanted to propose to you all day.
Well, before we even went out to eat, I was, like, running around the apartment, like, trying to make sure I didn't forget anything, which is weird, because I only ever have my phone and keys and wallet, and, like, I knew I had the ring in my pocket, but the ring came in this box, and I was like, should I take the box? I can't put the box anywhere, like, the jeans are too tight, I don't have any clothes that could successfully hide a box, and then there was this, like, little, like, very, very, very small drawstring bag that could fit in my pocket, but I was like, I don't want to, like, fidget with the little bag. Like, what if I have a hard time opening it, or when I open the bag, the ring flies out? So instead, I literally took just this ring, like literally just the ring itself, and just had it in my pocket. So all throughout dinner, and all throughout after dinner, and on the ride all the way home, and even when we're home, like, I just have it's just in my pocket. So yes, I was a little bit like, please just take it at that point.
And I know that you said some things after, but I was too busy yelling. I was screaming. I was because I couldn't believe it. And I remember seeing, I wouldn't look at the ring. I saw something sparkle, but I couldn't look at it for like 30 seconds. I just was like yelling into the wall over and over again. I just couldn't believe what was happening. I thought you were kidding. I thought you were joking.
Yeah, it was so not a joke.
And
it was extremely serious.
Well, I knew it wasn't a joke because I saw something sparkly, but I couldn't look at it. I was terrified that I was going to hate it. And I know that sounds so terrible.
Yeah.
But I was so worried. I was like, oh, Lord, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at it. And I looked at it. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in my entire life.
Oh.
Which I guess it was going to be anyway, because it was any ring you would have given me would have been the best ring. But for some reason, my brain...
No.
What?
It actually does look that nice because...
Well, it is beautiful.
Because when I was picking rings out, they showed me some rings, and when they pulled them out, I was like, yeah, that's not going to be good enough, because if I'm unimpressed with it, then she's definitely not going to care. So... You know, yeah, in a previous session I talked about the process of me picking out the ring. You should listen to that before this one. It's called She Said Yes. Whatever, it doesn't matter. That process was, like, very meticulous and essential to the final, like, actual proposal, because I did look at other rings, and they were, like, just not good enough. Like, they wouldn't have cut it. And you probably would have had the reaction that you so feared, but you did not, which is great.
Oh yeah, that would have been really devastating if I hated my engagement ring. But it's beautiful. It's so shiny. It's blinding.
So we should talk about, like, how we told people, because I didn't really know. I didn't know like how we shared this wonderful, incredible, extravagant news with everyone. Because I thought that we should tell people immediately, and we ended up not even telling anybody until a whole day later. What was up with that?
I guess I have anxiety. And also I wanted to take pictures. I wanted our announcement to I don't know. I guess I just didn't want to look like a homeless person when I announced that I'd been engaged.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to look like they rolled out of the trash but I looked like I had rolled out of trash. And I just wanted to feel pretty. I wanted to put like makeup on and like look good and take a picture with you and bask in our engagement.
Right.
And then after we took the pictures, then I sent the pictures to my family, and that was. Were
you surprised at the reception of the people, like via text message, phone call, Facebook?
What a weird way to ask that question.
I mean, like,
were they excited? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
no. I'm asking if you were surprised at the amount of people that were congratulating you and like the level of hype surrounding it, because I just didn't think like people would care that much, but it seems like
I don't know if I think our families cared a lot. I don't think people necessarily cared. They liked our post.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do when you show support.
It's just a courteous
lots of people liked it. I don't think they necessarily cared. They were probably thinking, "Oh wow, another one."
Yeah.
But I was really. There was a lot of people that were congratulating us and reaching out to us and saying that they were very happy for us. Sure. People from the beginning of our relationship reached out. It was very nice.
Yeah, I guess it's I guess that is just like one of those Facebook things, because I think you can truly gauge like people's real reaction to something like that based on if people like call you or personally message you. Because the whole Facebook thing, a lot of that's just like an obligatory thing, because it's hard to imagine, like, think about if one of the people that commented on that post, right? If you ran into them a couple of days later or a couple of weeks later or whatever, and you knew that they knew that you both knew that they saw that and did not reply to it, then that would be kind of odd for them. Like, both of you knowing that you got engaged and they never engaged with you about it. That would be kind of awkward, right?
I mean, I actually don't think it would be at all. I don't know. I just didn't think, like you were saying, you didn't think anyone would care. So I didn't expect anything. I expected my close friends, I expected my family to congratulate me and be very excited for me and happy for me. I did not expect any other people that used to know me, people I went to school with. I didn't expect any of those people to reach out, care, do anything. Some of them did.
What is it about the prospect of, like, that relationship status change on Facebook, those pictures being posted, that drive 120 or 130 people to react or to leave a comment? Because you post things that you think are important to you all the time, and then, obviously, I guess this is the biggest thing that's ever happened.
Well, I guess it's just you, as you keep going up the ladder of your life, it's another big step on that ladder, I think, is, people are really excited for you. Because everyone, most people get engaged. And then, it's like this whole, they finally get into a serious relationship and people get to see that relationship grow and thrive online. Yeah. And then you get to see those people decide that they want to spend the rest of our lives together. And then it's like, yeah!
I guess the reason it was shocking to me is because, well, we'd never really post about our relationship. At all, like anywhere. Yeah. So to me, I remember posting it, and like when I first posted it, after like 4 or 5 minutes, like one person liked it, and it was your mom, and I was like, ha, no one cares. and then suddenly, like after 20, 30 minutes, like the algorithm got to work and was like, push it. Everyone needs to know. Everyone needs to see it. And then people, something clicks in their brains like, I need to engage with this. Like, I need to interact with this. Because
maybe.
This is nice. This is good.
Yeah.
Like, I should.
It's just happy news.
Yeah. It's good news.
Well, maybe, because you're right, we don't feel the need to post our relationship all the time. And I think that comes from a place of, we're both very comfortable in our relationship and confident. We don't feel the need to, make other people believe that we are happy in a relationship, because we just are. Yeah. Because I know that my last relationship, I definitely decided I was just going to post all the time pictures of us and how happy we were, and I wasn't happy at all. I just wanted other people to believe it, because that would mean that I was happy maybe. But with you, I don't have to do that. Yeah,
I definitely felt like I felt like I had to be kind of performative in a sense. And it's not even like with my last relationship, it's not that I didn't feel those things, but I never felt the need to let other people know what I was doing and where I was going, and like, look at us, we're smiling. See us? This is love.
Can't you hear the smile?
Yeah, can't you feel it? Yeah, I've never been into that. So I guess that's why I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, and maybe they were desperate for our content, an update on our relationship. They probably just thought we broke up and never.
Yeah, I got that. I've talked about that before. There were a lot of people, like, every couple months or whatever, I'd be talking to a friend that I might not talk to all the time, and they'd be like, how are you and Bailey doing? You guys still together? And I'm like, yeah, why would you think anything happened? Because to me, if somebody was really curious about that, they might go to a Facebook profile, see that we're in a relationship, and that would be good enough for them.
Yeah, they think that maybe you just forgot to take
it off. Yeah. Like, I have this friend of mine, and he cares so little about Facebook that he's been with his girl for years, and it still says he's single. But it's not even one of those things. Like, we just don't post about each other, and also, like, we don't really do anything.
No, we don't have. We're very
so if we were
at home.
If we were to post about us or what we were doing, it would just be us just sitting in a living room
watching Love Island. Love Island.
So yeah, no one. I just don't think that anybody cares.
No, and
but they do.
Shouldn't, they shouldn't care. They really shouldn't care about us at all. We're really terrible.
not like
we're boring people.
Yeah, but I don't think you're boring.
Well, that's good.
And you don't think I'm boring because that's all that matters now, yeah. I suppose. So, why do you want to get married?
Why do I want to get married?
Well, like, so I just decided, like a couple weeks, maybe a month before I asked you.
Yeah,
and you.
I had already known.
You decided years ago.
And
I don't understand why.
Sound crazy when you say it like that. No, I knew we were going to get married after we'd been together for 6 months. That is so creepy.
It doesn't.
Out loud. But no, I knew because it was. I don't know how to explain it. You were just
so special.
Well, no, don't flatter. No, you just were perfect for me. I'm very fiery, and I'm a little mean, and you just calm me down. You level me out, and you actually make me understand why, if I do something really terrible, you never make me feel bad for it, but you make me understand in your own way why what I did was wrong without being condescending, without fighting back at me.
Yeah.
And that was really important to me because I guess I had learned to, fight back. In previous relationships, I had to defend myself. I had to, be on the fence and, I put my arms up and get ready.
Yeah.
But you never retaliated with anything I did. You never put me up against a wall and made me feel less than myself.
Physically or metaphorically.
But you built me up. You still build me up as a person, and you make me want to be a better person every single day. And that's important. Seriously. That's a really important in a relationship. If someone that you're with makes you want to be a better person than you are, then that's it.
Yeah.
It's golden.
Yeah, I guess I didn't... Yeah, I never really think about that because it sounds so corny, but I guess that's right. Because, like, I think all the time, like, throughout my day-to-day life and, like, the decisions I make, I'm like, man, if I said this or I did this, like, not that you would be, like, embarrassed of me or disappointed or whatever, but, like, I just generally don't want to, I don't know. What we have is, like, this... it's like this very nice, respectable, like almost sacred bond. And
sacred bond?
Yeah, and I feel like when I'm out in public or like even to myself with the things I'm doing with my life, I'm like, man, I gotta make sure, I don't do anything to tarnish that, Because it's a special thing,
You are the definition of a nice guy, and that's all I've ever wanted was just somebody that I wanted the nice guy. No one ever wants the nice guy. I wanted the nice guy. I had the mean guy. I had the bully. I didn't want that person anymore. I wanted you.
Yeah.
And then I got you, and 6 months later I was like, yeah, this is perfect. This is what I want. This is what I want to do. And you obviously were not there yet.
Yeah, it
I
just
went
took
a little
me
faster.
Well, it's just because my last relationship ended when I was in college, and I think a lot of the reason why that ended is because I was in college, because I was still doing college things. Being a college guy.
Yeah, you weren't ready for that step.
Trying to do fraternity stuff and and stuff.
Yeah.
And when we got together, you didn't, even though I was still like at the peak of my college powers, you didn't seem to be bothered by anything I was doing, which is crazy because I was a little bit of a crazy person.
No, I'm not.
But
I'm very independent.
Yeah, you had your own stuff going on.
I didn't really. I wasn't worried about you cheating on me. You still have the utmost respect for me, so I wasn't worried about any of that. But I also want to be clear. I knew that we were going to get married, but I was not ready for marriage at 6 months.
Yeah,
I was not ready to take that step either. I was just like, this is. I can see where this is going.
Yeah, you would kind of reference it like very lightly every once in a while, but I think it became clear to you after like a year or two that like, okay, he ready. Doesn't want to talk about this.
Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna stop being a freaky weirdo and like chill out, and then I did.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you calmed down.
Jesus.
No, but I mean, it really helped that you weren't putting any pressure on me, because if you would have put a lot of pressure on me, then I would have probably like gotten freaked out and been like, yeah, like never mind, this is too much. You're pushing me.
You're doing too much.
You're pushing me. I can't do it. I'm too young.
I have my whole life.
I'm a minor.
And now our lives, we threw our lives away. We're stuck together now.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I like it.
You like it?
Okay. So now that we've been engaged for a month, I think that with any new step like that, like moving in with somebody or getting engaged to them or getting a house, getting married, whatever, whenever there are these new steps, you like unlock these new levels in a relationship. Everybody, including the people involved, you would assume that things are going to change. But we've been engaged for a month now, and what's changed?
Nothing has changed.
Like not a single thing.
I mean, I'm wearing a ring every day now.
You're wearing a ring.
And I can call you Fin.
Yeah, I've just kind of gotten used to that. Saying like when I'm talking to people, I'm like,
you know what has changed is I think both of our families have taken our relationship a whole lot more seriously now.
Yeah.
Which is lovely. But I think both of our families are like, oh, you're getting married. Okay, so this is gonna be the person you're with. So I better get to know this person now. Your family already knew me.
Yeah, you see them all the time. Your family was just like, oh, maybe we should hang out with this kid.
Yeah. They were like,
since he's gonna be one of us.
And I mean, to be fair, they weren't wrong to like wait, because I have been in several long-term relationships that went absolutely nowhere. So maybe they were like, okay, yeah, sure, this one.
Yeah.
But they jumped like all the way in. Once they found out we were engaged.
Yeah, they want to hang out a lot, which is
they're making up for lost time.
Cool. We'll just chalk it up to the pandemic. I'm sure they've wanted to hang out with me for a long time, and they just couldn't because 2020 and the pandy. But now they're like, oh yeah, we should, we love this. Come on over. We're having a thing. Both of you. Monthly, weekly.
Weekly.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that's definitely changed. Is the dynamic in our families have changed. I feel like both of our families have kind of fully embraced us.
Yeah, and when I talk to my family members, mom, dad, brother, sister, like anybody, it's like people aren't just like, "How are you?" They're like, "How are you too?" It didn't used to be like
They're
that.
Like,
now we're
son!
like, now we are one. We're like a unit.
How many times have my family called you son?
We're anywhere between half a dozen and a dozen times over the course of like 2 or so encounters, interactions. It's cool though. It's nice having. I'd much rather have a family or two families that are overexcited as opposed to like not caring at all or actually being like angry about it. Like I haven't had a single human being, like not one, that's like, are you sure? Like, are you, like, come on. Like, really? Her? Like, now? Like, okay. Like, I get it. You like her, but, like, right now? Like, are you sure?
God, yeah. That
Nobody's doing, no one's done that. So that's very nice. I think that's what's made it so easy, because everybody's been so supportive, like, way more supportive than I could have possibly imagined. Like, my best case scenario was still not, like, this much love.
People have really been very lovely.
Yeah.
when they've been reaching out. It's been really nice.
Yeah.
And I think it's brought some of our friends back. The ones that started in I was going to say in our previous relationship, in the beginning of our relationship.
Yeah. People that I haven't talked to in a while that I just made it clear that we're not actually friends. Those people.
What?
No.
That's not an episode I've listened to.
Oh no. We're not friends, but that's okay. You haven't heard it? I thought you were a fan. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Well, what if am I a friend?
Yeah, we're definitely friends.
Okay.
Like, we would qualify.
Well, I didn't hear the podcast. You could have been talking about me.
So, no. I don't know. You haven't heard it. Well, here's the measure for it. You know, if I would... let's just say, like, I'm having a birthday party. Like, if you were having a birthday party and you invited somebody to show up and, like, they didn't show up and, like, they had work off that day, like, if they just had something better to do that day, then they're probably, like, not your friend. If they won't, like, just show up to your birthday party. Or somebody that you don't want at your wedding.
I don't know. I feel like we have different definitions of what friends are. I feel like that's not quite true.
Okay, so mine was like, let's say somebody that you would consider a friend, right? Well, so wait, hold on.
I'm ready to argue.
Okay, so if they go through, like, a really bad breakup, and they call you, and they're, like, crying about it, if you're, like, really surprised that they called you, then, like, I don't think you really care that much.
Okay, there's a difference between a good friend and a friend. There's, like, acquaintances, friends,
there's like levels to it.
Oh, definitely. What do you mean?
Levels to friendship.
Yes, there's definitely levels to friendship. But just because I would consider a lot of the people I work with my friends. I talk to them every day. We talk about personal stuff every day. But I don't think they're going to call me if they break up with their significant other.
I think that
doesn't mean they're not my friends.
No, they're just your work friends.
Well, I mean, I guess it's true, but I mean, I don't think
and that's okay.
There are friends as well who may break up with their significant other that I don't work with that wouldn't necessarily call me if they're having a bad day.
It's not about whether they would call you or not. It's whether or not, like, you would be surprised that they chose you to call.
I would be surprised if anyone chose me, because I'm...
well, you have certain friends, if they called you, you'd be like, well, of course, I'm here for you, because we're friends. I'd always be here for you, because I care.
I don't know.
You could call me any day.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't...
There are some people, if they called you, like, 3 days in a row, and they just wanted to, like, see what you were doing, or, like, when you could hang out, you would be like, this is weird, because we're not really friends.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we have different standards, and that's okay.
I should have been on that podcast. I should tell you how wrong you were.
Yeah, well, they're my friends.
We should just argue.
Or they're just not my friends.
We should just argue.
We should start a whole season 3 of Derapy is just going to be me bringing up things that I think I'm like, that are very bold, and I actually think are pretty clear cut and obvious, and then you're just like,
no matter what it is, I'm just going to tell you that you're wrong, because I'm really good at it.
It won't be hard for you. Well,
even when I'm wrong, I'm just going to be like, no.
One of the staples of our relationship is the fact that we actually do not argue much at all about anything that's, like, important.
No, we don't argue. We disagree. But we never argue really about our disagreements. And their disagreements are usually about, like, movies or, like, characters in a TV show. Like, they're not real arguments. They're just more like...
We don't fight about anything that has anything to do with us.
No, we don't. No. We'll, like, fight about whether we liked season 2 of...
Or like Parks and Rec versus The Office or something. Or
what was the... Oh, no, I was thinking of a specific show. Oh, what is it? Not Avatar, the other one that came after that.
The Legend of Korra?
Yes! We argue about Legend of Korra.
I think we agree now that the first season is good and the rest of it is...
Garbo.
Is bad.
It's bad. Yeah.
See?
Maybe we don't...
We already reached a resolution.
Fight.
Yeah, actually, no, we've never had a disagreement about anything ever, so... Anyways, yeah, so the whole... Friends thing, I don't know. You just have to listen to the episode. Otherwise, you're not going to get it. Because to me, I think it's pretty obvious. But I was also referencing somebody very, like, specific throughout that episode, and you know who they are, and I think you understand why I feel that way about that person.
Okay.
So,
well,
whatever.
Okay. So it's more of a, like, we know, but they don't know.
I think they know.
They don't know.
I think they know. But we were talking about our families.
Yes.
And how their reaction to everything has made the engagement easier.
Oh yeah.
Their support and the support of friends, so to speak, have made everything super chill.
Everybody's been so great.
And if you're listening to this, you probably have some type of vested interest in I and she, and you're probably invited to the wedding.
Probably.
You probably.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Why would you listen to two people like us ramble if you didn't care about us enough to deserve an invite? So we love you. We appreciate you. And just because I wouldn't call you if we broke up doesn't mean that Spice doesn't think you guys are friends. So you can take solace in that.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I disagree. I disagree with... And now, you've set us up, because now there's going to be someone who's listening to this that it's not going to be invited to the wedding. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be like, hey, you think I'm going to be invited to the wedding.
Okay, so here's another measure that I know you're going to think is completely unfair. So, okay. At least anybody from, like, my side, like, my core group of people, because there's going to be, like, a set amount of people that we're going to invite, and I feel like that's going to make things a lot easier, by the way.
Yes, there is a set amount of people.
Yeah, for the venue that we have that we... Oh, by the way, the last time that we talked about the wedding, we had no idea what we were doing. You feel better about that now? Like, you have kind of a...
Yeah, I have a lot of, like we were talking about, we have a lot of people who are backing us up, and a lot of people who want to be involved.
Yeah, they want to, like, do stuff for us.
Which is very good for me, because I don't know what I'm doing. But they've really helped me. Yes, we have a venue, we have a reception area, and it's really exciting.
Yeah,
really, really exciting.
The plan is a church, and we already have a date, which is like in October of next year, and you're cool with that.
Yes.
So that's fantastic. That's the plan. Yeah. Everything's good. We're happy. There are no regrets, right? Right?
No, not.
Right? Okay.
There's still time, though.
Yeah. Well, actually there isn't, because it has been over a month since I got the ring, so I officially cannot return it for a full refund.
For a refund.
So they won't take it back.
I don't think I could part with this ring even if, like, we ended it, like, today. Yeah. I'd be like, no, I'm sorry, this lives on my finger now.
Yeah.
You'll have to chop my finger off. It's not coming off.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's fine.
It's mine.
While I have you, is there anything that you want to tell our loyal listeners
about... They're not my listeners. None of them care what I got to say.
Our incredible fans. Is there anything that you want to tell the people about how they should know when it's time to be proposed to or get married? How did you know that, like, it was a good decision? What was, like, the last straw for you? What's, like, the main reason? Why are you so cool with us being engaged?
Well, we just match very well. I guess just our personalities mesh. And like I said before, when that person makes you want to be a better person, and not just like you're a terrible person and you want to, like, be nicer. That's not what I mean. Just like you want to do more for that person. You want to express your love in different ways. And the fact that we never fight, is a really big one.
Yeah.
And that we've moved in together and we don't drive each other crazy. That's another one. It's a big thing.
I don't even think about the fact that we live together anymore. Like, I don't see any obstacles with that.
It's a lot of people, especially that I've spoken to, have had some real issues with, like, roommates and, like, living together and being really, really irritated with the person they're living with. We haven't had any of those, and we live in a very small apartment.
Super small.
If we're able to survive here, then I think we can make it. It
only goes up from here.
Yeah, there hasn't been any issues. You've perfectly. I don't know. We just complement each other, I think, and we bounce off of each other. We've got good crack.
Yeah, good chat.
Yeah, good chat.
Chemistry. Yeah.
So
the vibes.
God, we're so gross. Stop. Delete that last 30 seconds.
I knew that it was time, that I was ready, because not fighting is so important to me, because in a previous relationship I had, I feel like I had to fight for everything, over everything, all the time. Like, who I was hanging out with, how long I was hanging out with them, was I drinking with those people? Like, am I posting about them enough? Am I not? Like everything I said, I felt like I was under this microscope. I felt like I had to, like, put on this show all the time, and it's just very easy. And, like, everyone always talks about, like, how love is like sacrifice, and like it's like a battle and like a war, and it's something that you need to fight for, and like you have to give up all these things. You have to like lose yourself and then find yourself again, and you have to like let them go and then like let them come back to you, and like all that like disgusting stuff, and like it's just not supposed to be that hard.
It hasn't been that way. It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
And if you have somebody and you love somebody that you've been with for a little while, and you know what it's like to spend an extended period of time with them in a very small space, and you're still getting along extremely well, and you're not fighting, and things are like cool, and even when things go wrong, you can have like a rational, composed, cool conversation about things, then that's probably the right person, especially if you've been doing it for like 4 years. So that helps. I've talked to other people that have gotten like engaged and married and divorced all in like the span of half the time that we've been together, which is crazy to me. I feel like if I didn't do this with you for as long as I did, then I wouldn't be absolutely sure. And I did, and I am. So thanks for taking it easy on me.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't screw it up.
Yeah. We won't. We won't. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, probably not.
Anyways, I know I've talked so harshly and so cruelly and mean about like who my friends are and who I love and care about, but truthfully speaking, regardless of whether I would make a very confused face if you called me crying about being dumped, that doesn't mean that I don't care about you and love you. And if you're listening to this, then trust me, I definitely love you. So that's all from me. That's all from Spice, and love you, mean it, and I'll see you in a couple days.
Bye.
This episode was made possible by Anchor. If you're listening to this episode on Spotify, please consider giving me a follow so you can be notified when I upload. If this ever ends up on Apple Podcasts, I'd really appreciate a 5-star rating if you enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter at Derapy Podcast or Instagram at Derapy_podcast. The intro music is by my brother, Damon Buxton. Outro music is by Lobo, and cover art is by my friend Nick Johnson. Thanks for listening. This has been Derapy.